and thanks for tuning in to learn how to innovate with intelligent manufacturing operations. My name is Vignesh, and I lead product marketing for Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management.
Hi, I'm Beatriz Nebot-Gracia, and I'm a program manager in Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management.
Hello, my name is Christian Rødt, and I'm also a program manager in Dynamics 365 for Supply Chain Management.
So let's get started. We will learn about some of the current challenges that manufacturers are facing, market trends to solve these challenges, why Dynamics 365 is the right solution for your manufacturing needs, our latest investments, and a deeper dive into those existing investments. Organizations have gained operational efficiencies and become leaner over the last decade, but in the process, they have become less resilient to disruptions. Visibility still seems to be the primary driver for vulnerabilities in the supply chain and the production floor, mainly due to lack of real-time data from a single source of truth. Businesses lack agility due to the slow digitization of their factories and supply chains, which is significantly inhibiting them to respond to the changing customer demand and supply challenges. Suppliers are going out of business or cannot ship, and businesses cannot find an alternate supplier quickly to keep their production lines running. These challenges together equate to an inability to ensure business continuity. Added to this challenge of a growing skills gap and worker shortages in manufacturing and a lack of digital technologies to empower and transform the workforce. It is an imperative for manufacturing organizations today to build agile, connected, and hyper-automated factories and really create resilient supply chains to weather the impact of any disruption. Today, we see four key industry trends that businesses will embark on the journey to intelligent and manufacturing operations management. Companies that take on the work will not only respond to these key trends, but will also position themselves to gain a sustainable competitive advantage. Starting with blending virtual and physical experiences, leading to increased workforce productivity and customer reach. This allows manufacturers to move closer to anywhere operations and benefit from greater business continuity. We will also see increased digitalization powered by technologies such as the Industrial Internet of Things, digital twins, and blockchain, all of which will enable organizations to build intelligent and modern manufacturing operations. Next is hyperautomation to remotely manage and control operations. By automating processes and exploiting predictive AI, a manufacturing plant can coordinate incoming parts, materials, ingredients for unloading, storing, assembly, processing, packaging, and shipping products. More standardization and interoperability of software across plants is a critical capability to support more remote management and control. It is estimated that manufacturers will lower operational costs by 10% by combining hyper-automation technologies with redesigned operational processes by 2025. Next is enhancing end-to-end visibility, both on the shop floor and of your supply chain, is critical to improving planning to achieve the supply chain resiliency. Based on an IDC supply chain survey, almost 57% respondents seem to improve supply chain planning to achieve resiliency. Lastly, manufacturers are looking at ways to monetize data and create new business models. The connected assets and the digitalization of operations across internal organizations is creating an immense amount of data. This includes sensor data as well as ERP, manufacturing execution systems, and other systems-based data to generate insights that are providing both internal and external benefits. By the end of 2024, half of the heavy asset manufacturing organizations will have succeeded in monetizing this data. Companies can create subscription services such as equipment as a service, which Gartner has projected that by 2023, 20% of equipment manufacturers will support. Dynamics 365 Business Applications helps you meet these critical business needs, like enhancing supply chain visibility and production floor visibility, gaining planning agility, and empowering workforce to ensure business continuity. Dynamics 365 Business Applications can easily integrate with each other and other external systems. This way, you can unify all the data in Azure Data Lake in real time, analyze this data, and generate predictive insights using AI to proactively detect opportunities and risk, all the way from planning to procurement to manufacturing to distribution, order orchestration, and delivery. Dynamics 365 is highly composable, and its interoperability with other systems helps address your specific manufacturing or supply chain problem and offer end-to-end composite solutions without forcing a complete rip and replace of your entire ERP suites. As you embark on this transformation journey to digitize different processes within your manufacturing and supply chain, Dynamics 365 provides you the agility and foundation to transition to the cloud. Our latest investments are primarily focused on enabling organizations such as yours innovate with intelligent manufacturing operations by easily adapting to new business models, improving planning agility, enhancing visibility of your shop floor, and ensuring 24/7 uptime and business continuity. Manufacturers can seamlessly work with any MES system and eliminate data silos. They can optimize production processes with enhanced visibility of the shop floor and improve throughput and quality. They can eliminate stockouts with priority-based supply planning by automatically prioritizing replenishment of higher demand items in near real time based on order priorities, current stock levels, and projected inventory. Lastly, manufacturers, retailers, and distributors can further create resiliency by helping them build agile distribution and manufacturing processes by running critical warehouse and manufacturing processes 24/7 on the cloud or at the edge in a distributed hybrid topology. This ensures uptime during intermittent connectivity and high throughput where latency could be an issue. We will now dive deeper into these investments. I'll pass it along to Christian, who will walk us through gaining planning agility with priority-based planning.
Thank you, Vinesh. So priority-based planning is basically the next new thing here for the October release. Master planning optimization can be configured to optimize replenishment based on priority and not by date. This enables businesses to increase service level, reduce inventory levels, and optimize their supply chains by prioritizing replenishment orders to ensure that urgent demand is prioritized over less important demand. The planning priority is automatically calculated based on a flexible setup that considers inventory levels for minimum, reorder point, and maximum, as well as projected on hand that include future supply and demand. This data can be used to compare the importance of any orders, cross products, and locations. Note that the lowest value here of planning priority is the most important, as the value represents the percent of projected units on hand compared to the maximum inventory. To demonstrate, this distribution center fulfills orders for 2 warehouses. Warehouse 12 has a projected on hand of 3 units and a requirement of 5 to reach its maximum of 8. This priority setup uses percent of maximum for the calculation. So the planned transfer orders of this planning priority is 35.5%. Warehouse 13 here has a projected on hand of 1 with a requirement of 7 units to reach the maximum of 8, making the planned transfer orders of this planning priority 12.5%. In this instance, the supply warehouse 13 will be prioritized over supply for warehouse 12, since it is at a greater risk of a stockout situation. The purchase order to fulfill the distribution center also includes planning priority, ensuring that both external and intercompany vendors can stay informed about the urgency of supply orders. As an alternative to percent of maximum, priorities can be calculated by defining several priority ranges. This setup enables automatic splitting of replenishment into multiple planned orders, each with individual planning priority based on defined priority ranges. This priority model is split into a 3-zone setup indicated as red, yellow, and green. Notice the projected on hand is 100 units, well below the reorder point and into the red zone. Therefore, the red zone is fulfilled with a planned order of 150 units and a priority of 30. The yellow zone with a planned order of 250 units and priority 50, And finally, the green zone is fulfilled with a planned order of 500 units and priority 70, reaching the maximum of 1,000 units in total. Because of this, the planning engine will suggest a series of planned orders to refill each warehouse to the maximum number of units. For example, the first supply orders, those with a priority of 30, will receive enough units to bring the warehouses to their minimum inventory levels. With all warehouses now in the yellow zone, the following orders with priority 50 will bring all warehouses to their reorder point. This way, the system ensures that the available supply was distributed between warehouses to minimize the risk of stock out. The remaining orders in the green zone at priority 70 will be fulfilled once supply is available, and the warehouses can now be brought to their maximum levels. This means that priority-based planning can ensure optimal usage of the distribution centers' available supply by making it easy to prioritize orders by levels of importance. And now it's time for a demo. Notice that to use priority-based planning, you must enable the preview feature priority-driven MRP support for planning optimization in feature management. Let's start by looking at priority-based planning during order taking. For this, I will open a sales order that already have a sales order line for the Surface Pro. Notice that the planning priority is set to 30. If I create a new sales line for the same item, the planning priority will be defaulted to 30 as well. Now let's change the item from 1010 to our 1030. This is the 1 terabyte option. Notice that this was set up to default the planning priority to 40, making it a less important demand during planning. If allowed, the order taker can manually change the planning priority for a specific sales order line. Let's make it 25. Let's take a look at the forecast for this item, because planning priority can also be defined on the forecast and other order types. This enables you to control the priority during master planning. Here, the planning priority of 80 on the forecast lines ensure that sales orders always get prioritized over the forecast. Now let's jump to the master planning workspace. Notice that planning priority is shown to make it easy to evaluate the importance of each supply suggestion. From the planned order view, we can sort planning priority to ensure that we focus on the most important orders. I can add a filter on warehouse 11 to see the most important orders sent from warehouse 11. And if we want to see the most important orders for a specific vendor, we can add a filter as well. Here, let's filter on vendor 1001. Now, with all of this in place, we can also add a filter to only see the real critical orders. For example, with a planning priority of 30 or less. Now we see the 5 most important orders for vendor 1001. Let's firm them. First, we'll select them and then click Firm. During firming, you can simplify the order processing by grouping orders for the same item and planning priority into a single order. Now let's take a look at the setup controlling all of this planning priority. So let's jump out and go to the item here. We'll view the details. From here, we can go to the plan and take a look at the item coverage. On the item coverage, we have the coverage group. Here it's set to priority %. And if we look at the details here, we can see that it's defaulting % of max, which is one of the 3 options that I have in my system. You can have as many as you want. If we go back out here and look at the general tab here, you can see that my coverage code is set to priority. This enables the reorder point So I have my minimum, my reorder point, and my maximum. Now, if we go and take a look at the planning priority models, you can see that I have three models here. The percent of max, let's start with that. It's basically using the priority calculation method, percent of maximum inventory quantity. So no additional setup is needed here. If we take a look at the second one here, normal split, you can see that it's using priority ranges. And we have defined 4 planning priority ranges here, 10, 30, 50, and 70. Each specified by a specific from and to quantity defined by the user. This is also used to split orders when creating the supply. And if we look down here, you see we have the defaults for sales orders, purchase, transfers, and forecast. Now, if we take a look at the last one, detailed split here, you can see that it's using split according to priority range as well, but then it also have the considered demand priority turned on. This basically ensures that we remove the bullwhip effect coming from demand triggering a supply with a more important planning priority, so a less value. With this checkmark set, we ensure that that do not happen. Now that concluded the demo, so let's go back and have a look at a conclusion slide. So to sum up priority-based planning, the main capabilities include planning priority that can be defaulted, calculated, and manually edited, reorder point as an additional parameter to control when to reorder, the ability to split planned orders based on planning ranges for optimal distribution, option to group planned orders during firming, custom priority setup to prioritize based on ranges, and finally, planning priority is fully supported with intercompany orders. And with that, I will hand it over to Beatrice, who will show you how to enhance visibility on the production floor.
Thanks, Christian. And as we've seen before, one of the challenges faced by organizations is having disparate systems, which also leads into having less visibility into the production process. Some manufacturing organizations that use Dynamics 365 supply chain management may use an external manufacturing system for their advanced requirements. These can be to control their machine, equipment, and personnel instead of what is natively available in Dynamics 365. When having an integrated solution, you can enhance visibility of your production floor. Data exchange is fully automated and near real-time, which keeps data current in both systems and eliminates the need for manual data entry. For example, when material consumption is registered in the manufacturing execution system, or MES, the integration ensures that the same consumption is also registered in Dynamics 365. So up-to-date inventory records are available to other important processes such as planning, sales, and so on. You can remove disparate systems and data silos by having that shared data. You'll also be able to handle any data spikes, but it being able to queue the signals that come from your manufacturing execution system. And if there's any debug or traceability issues that need to happen, you will also be able to do so by seeing the messages queued in Dynamics 365. Here, we can see how production order data would flow between Dynamics and an external manufacturing execution system. Using business events, the MES would be updated with the latest production orders released. Then it would be able to complement the order with any other information needed, such as items, quantities, its bill of materials, with OData or data entities. And finally, the MES will share information related to this production order back to Dynamics by using a simple API call using the messages provided. The previous scenario can be implemented by an architecture like this one. Business events and data entities are used for sharing information from Dynamics, and then API calls are used for incoming messages to Dynamics 365, having them in a queue with a monitoring dashboard. The integration framework can be used with any MES. And at the moment, Aegis and Octon are MES providers that already have a direct integration with Dynamics using this framework. Information exchange between Dynamics and Aegis Factory Logic's MES is turnkey and validated. Product configuration transfers directly into the digital manufacturing engineering tool. The production route is automatically identified, contextualized with R&D design data, and then Factory Logic creates template-driven smart 3D work instructions and machine programs. Once data is merged, production can immediately start. Aegis Factory Logic's IIoT-based MES manages individually identified products and materials, directly capturing process quality data, material consumption, and spoilage, fulfilling the most stringent assurance requirements. Specific traceability of individual products and materials is seamless transferred from Factory Logic's MES to Dynamics. And like this, seamless smart manufacturing from Dynamics and Aegis software. Let's take a look at another integration example. An additive manufacturer of metal components uses Octon's manufacturing operating system, and more specifically, the platform MES capabilities. With the Dynamics integration, Octon helps additive manufacturers with optimization and adoption of challenging production workflows, such as those for dentistry, healthcare, biotech, aerospace, and automotive. In the integrated solution, the production planner plans the orders in supply chain management and releases them. In this case, a production order for 8 pieces of a custom connector. Once released, the information about this order, such as item and quantity, is received in Octon's platform. Here, it is the first one on the list. Then it schedules and controls the production process. For example, it will combine and schedule together the production of different components in one metal plate. As the shop floor is processing this order and its status changes, status information is directly shared with supply chain management using a simple API call. So let's start the order in Octon's platform. And then in supply chain management, we can see that the order is also shown as started. And the same would happen with other information such as material picking or reported as finished components. Also, Dynamics can handle information spikes such as many reported as finished messages by having a message queue that can be monitored and very useful for integration troubleshooting. Concluding, if you do not use the MES functionality native in Dynamics, but an external system, you can enhance visibility into your shop floor by having both systems integrated. And now let's see how we can ensure business continuity. Having Dynamics 365 supply chain management, you can choose to have a distributed hybrid solution. With distributed hybrid technology, you can move your manufacturing execution system from running on one Cloud Hub instance to separate scale units deployed on hardware on a local premises. With this hybrid model, you'll be able to run critical warehousing and manufacturing workloads on the edge, have a seamless edge deployment, and make data-driven decisions before investing. Let's take a look at how is it having the MES workload deployed on the edge. Production orders are created and prepared on the Hub instance. When they are released, they are replicated on the MES workload, where the workers and the shop floor use the production floor execution interface to manage the production jobs. When registrations are completed on the workload, they are synchronized back to the hub instance for tracking of inventory and final costing of the production processes. And now we are going to see a demo where my colleague Johan shows you how a shop floor worker manages jobs on the MES workload.
The following demo shows how a shop floor worker manages production jobs on the MES workload. In the sign-in page, the worker signs into the production floor execution interface by providing his badge ID. The interface shows the worker's job list. The worker can start and complete jobs from the list. In the interface, the worker can also open work instructions, register breaks, and register work done on indirect activities. The worker selects a job from the job list and starts the job. When the worker has completed the job, he logs back into the device. In the active job list, he selects the job he has been working on. He now registers the quantity he has completed. The job is now done, and the worker can select a new job from the All Jobs list to work on.
And as we have seen, you're able to run supply chain management MES functionality on the edge by using a modern manufacturing execution interface. Now back to you, Vignesh.
Thanks, Beatrice and Christian. We saw how you can eliminate stockouts with priority-based supply planning by automatically prioritizing replenishment of high-demand items in near real-time based on order priorities, current stock levels, and projected inventory. How you can seamlessly work with any manufacturing execution system to eliminate data silos, improve quality, and optimize production processes. And lastly, how you can keep critical manufacturing and warehousing processes running at high throughput in the cloud or at the edge and ensure business continuity in remote locations which are prone to low latency and intermittent connections. As per McKinsey, a resilient supply chain that can weather any disruption such as these due to enhanced end-to-end visibility and planning agility can deliver an increased productivity by 20 to 40%, reduce overall inventory by 10 to 30%, compress lead times by up to 20%, and improve overall equipment effectiveness by up to 30%. As a next step, please contact us to learn more about the solutions or take a self-guided tour of the product to learn more. Thank you for watching this session and looking forward to seeing you again soon.